Hello everyone, it is me Sasha Kawaii Cat, and in today's video, I'll be turning Hazbin Hotel demons into angels. Ever since our best boy Sir Pentious made it into heaven and was given a shiny new angelic design, I've been thinking about what the other characters might look like as angels as well, so I decided to try redesigning them. I hope you all like how they turned out. Let's get started! First up we have Cherry Bomb. For Cherry Bomb's design, my first thought was that I wanted to keep with the red color scheme, but still make her look like she belonged in heaven. In Hazbin Hotel, red is a very prominent color used in the show's design. The world is very red, from the skies to the buildings, and every single character in the main cast has some shade of red featured in their design, with some being more prominent than others. I think this being the case does place an association of red with demons, even though that's not necessarily the case. In heaven, the angels are far more colorful. Everything is bright and cheerful with a variety of colors used in the designs of the various angels. The red isn't used as often as it is in hell. There are still angels wearing red, so I didn't feel too bad about leaving red as Cherry's main color, especially since I didn't think it would make sense to change it. For her outfit, I wanted to make something that looked a bit more unified and structured when compared to her original clothing, while still having prominent elements of her design. Her demon clothes look like a dress that she cut into a top and skirt. She's wearing two different pairs of shoes and most of her clothing is ripped and torn. I'm guessing they wanted her to have a look that gave the impression that she might have blown up, since bombs are her thing. And while I do like it, I decided for her angel design that I'd highlight the cherry in her name and make that seem like the more dominant theme. So I decided to put a large cherry pattern decorating her skirt, as well as make her outfit more structured and put together. I wanted to change her design a bit while still making it obvious that it's still her. So I kept her high ponytail but gave her two this time, since I think it makes her look more cute and also it makes it a bit more unified. I also gave her a golden tattoo design on her leg and arm. For her coloring, I decided that I wanted to brighten up her color scheme a bit. So I gave her a more pink skin tone instead of the pale white she has as a demon. Her hair is more blonde now as an angel, with only a bit of a red gradient. For her eyes, I wasn't sure what color I wanted them to be, but I knew that the red made her look too demonic. I played around with inverting the colors, but in the end, I made her eye white and the X red. I think at one point I was going to remove the X, but since it's a prominent part of her design and makes her more recognizable, I decided to keep it. Overall, I'm very happy with the finished design. There isn't really anything I think I would change. Next up we have Nifty. Nifty has a very bright design. Her color scheme is very red, which made me want to give her a design that had more cool colors. She also has hair that is a bit messy and sharp in some areas, so I decided to make it more rounded and neat. For her outfit, I decided to keep the overall shape and theme, but give her a slightly rounder dress. I also got rid of the sharp teeth and went with regular human teeth. Her demon teeth are also slightly yellow, while as an angel they are pearly white. Her eyes are also very demonic looking, so I decided that I would give her a very cute, almost anime type eye. I also gave her a huge bow at the back of her dress, since I thought that would also add to her cute aesthetic. For the overall look, I wanted to give Nifty a completely different color scheme, but still have her shaped similarly enough to her demonic design so that she would still be recognizable. Her skin became a light blue color while her hair is lavender, and her dress is a sort of gray tone, almost white. Overall, I do like this design, but I think my only regret is that the colors are a bit flat. Maybe I should have made some colors brighter to add a bit more dimension to her design. I still like this design, but I don't know if it's my favorite. I briefly thought about giving her wings as well, but again, I didn't feel like they were necessary because they wouldn't add much to her design. However, looking back at it, I think I would have moved her bow to the front of her dress so it wasn't in the way, and then given her white wings. In the show, Nifty is significantly shorter than everyone else, and she's always jumping on people and skittering about. I think as an angel, if she had wings, it would not only bring her up to the height of the other characters, but she could also move around very quickly by just flying around very quickly and zipping through the air, kind of like a fly or a bee. So in hindsight, I guess she could have used the wings, but oh well. I feel like I might redesign these in the future and then add wings and change her color scheme a bit. I do wonder how likely it is for her or any other characters to be redeemed within the show. Sir Pentious being redeemed was very cool to see, but it wasn't surprising that he would be the first one since he was a lot more innocent and kinder than the rest of the hotel's occupants. He seemed to be the most willing to participate in Charlie's whole rehabilitation and change. I don't know if a character as chaotic as Nifty could change. I guess if she was no longer obsessed with killing, maybe that would work. But then again, heaven as portrayed in Hazbin Hotel is filled with hypocrisy. Angels like Adam and Lute seemed like they enjoyed killing, though they had the excuse that it was part of a job they had to do. I don't think outside of the extermination they were going around stabbing other angels, but who knows. Maybe Nifty will make it, or maybe they'll find out that heaven is not what it seems, and it won't even be relevant. We don't know yet what direction the show is going to go in, since there's still plenty of secrets to be revealed. Nifty as a character is also the least fleshed out. There isn't a lot to the character, but they may give her a bit more depth in the future, though to be honest, I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. Next up we have Angel Dust. Angel Dust feels like the character that Charlie wants to redeem the most. He's the first one to join the hotel, and she places a lot of emphasis on his rehabilitation, in her case to heaven. I don't think Angel Dust is a bad guy despite some of the things he's done, so I feel like there's a world in which he's redeemed. With his angelic design, the first thing I wanted to change was his outfit. Angel's outfit is a bit confusing. I didn't notice that he was wearing a skirt because it's so high up that it almost looks like a shirt under his jacket. But I have been told that he is in fact wearing a skirt. So I decided that I would give him either pants or shorts. In the end, I went with pants, though to be honest, I kind of wish I had given him a coat that looked like a long dress or a skirt that was more recognizable as a skirt. I'm second guessing them because I think the skirt would have added a more feminine element to Angel's whole design, since that's a prominent part of his aesthetic. I still like how the pants look, but I do feel like doing a version where he's wearing a skirt later on just to see how it would look. I decided to keep his gloves because I like them. The main difference here is that I made the red a more pink color, almost magenta. Part of me feels like I could have made it a lighter shade of pink. My thought process with the color scheme is that I would keep everything white with some elements of gold and then make pink a prominent color instead of the red. Now that I think about it, I think Angel might already be wearing pink. It's just such a bright pink that it does look red. I realized while I was drawing Angel and looking over the overall design that he is incredibly skinny. He's a very thin character, and I don't usually draw characters that thin. My style isn't as cartoony as the style that Hazbin Hotel has, but I did my best to draw the character in my own style while also making the drawing recognizable as Angel does. He also ended up being the only one I gave wings to because he's an angel, so I couldn't not give him wings. It's in his name. I do think maybe he could have had extra wings to match his extra arms, but I didn't want the design to be too cluttered. In the end, I did end up doing various designs for Angel, including a full blue color scheme to contrast his initial red design, considering pink is very close to red. I do like the blue design a bit more than the pink, but please comment below and let me know which one you prefer. I also wasn't sure if I wanted to give him sharp teeth. Sir Pentious has sharp teeth even as an angel, but I think they still work because he's a snake. I didn't know if they would work for the other characters. To be honest though, I do think it would still work with Angel Dust. So I do think that I should have given him the sharp teeth. I think I did in one version. Yeah, I did it in the blue version, but not in the pink version, and I do kind of regret it. I did get rid of the gold teeth though. I just didn't think it would work well with his angelic design. But to be honest, I do think if he does get redeemed, like within the actual show, then they'll probably still keep it on his design. I also didn't give him yellow teeth, even though Sir Pentious still has yellow teeth with his angel design. I guess the last thing I'll mention is that I got rid of the stripes in his outfit because it just didn't look right to me. The stripes being very prominent in all the men's design in the hotel kind of reminds me of Kingdom Hearts 3, where everyone was wearing plaid for some reason. For whatever reason, plaid was very in that season and everyone's following the trend, I guess. It's the same thing in hell. Stripes are just really in right now and everyone's gotta wear them. You just aren't fashionable if you're not wearing stripes. I noticed in heaven there aren't rocking stripes like that, so I think Angel's design not having them is fine. Last but certainly not least is Alistair. So I did this design first and it was so difficult for me that I almost scrapped this entire video because I wasn't confident in my ability to draw the other characters. Then I realized I was overthinking it and I realized I should just draw whatever felt right. And here we are. But this one took a lot out of me. I think part of the reason I had difficulty with this drawing is because there's just no way in hell Alistair's evil demonic ass is making it through the pearly gates. There's just no way in hell they're letting this man in. He's so obviously evil that it's difficult for me to imagine him as an angel. I've also seen fan art of human versions of Alistair done in the show style. And I have to say, this show style is more suitable for the demonic designs. Human beings look so ugly and unappealing in this style to me. I think that all the designs I've seen of Alistair as a human in the show style are so wrong and off-putting to me for some reason. So I didn't want to give Alistair a design that was too humanoid and I didn't know what the hell I was going to do with his hair. I'm just going to walk you guys through my design process. So at first I played around with the idea of getting rid of the hair and ears on top of his head so that I could give him bigger horns. I would like to think that as an angel, he no longer has those baby horns, but glorious golden horns that are shaped like hearts. I also played around with giving him a curl at the front of his hair, but I just didn't like how it looked. I also found myself trying to make his hair look like ears again, and it felt very wrong. What was happening was that I was moving away from his silhouette, which didn't feel right because I still needed him to be recognizable as Alistair. I have a lot of issues with Alistair's design. In some ways, I do think it is kind of bad, but the silhouette is at least recognizable, and I do think that is important. So I didn't want to mess that up. In the end, I still gave him more prominent horns that are on the side of his head so they aren't buried in his hair. Everyone in heaven is supposed to be hot, so I think more noticeable horns would make him look a lot more attractive, especially horns that, if you put them together, would make a heart. In the end, I do like how the horns turned out. As I mentioned, I wanted to change his hair around because I wanted to give him some rounder, softer elements, but I didn't bother with that because, as I said, I just didn't want to mess with his silhouette too much. The next thing I wanted to change was his coat. I wanted to add crosses everywhere, but I didn't think it would work. I also got rid of the torn edges on his coat in favor of a cleaner design. I do think it's funny that in one episode, he was mad because Sir Pentious tore his coat because he ruined it or something, when it's already very torn. I guess it's torn purposefully, but he mentioned going to the tailor's and I'm sitting here thinking, to do what? Like, what is the tailor gonna do to your outfit? Also, he can make clothing. I don't know where he went that episode, but I don't think it was to the tailors. Anyway, back to his design. Because Sir Pentious has hearts, I wanted to put hearts on his design as well. So I decided to add them to his bow, his shoes, and his little microphone thingy, whatever that is. I was also going to give him freckles, but ultimately I decided against it. For his color scheme, he got the same treatment as Angel does. Basically just swapping out red and black for magenta and white and some gold elements here and there. Again, I chose pink because it's close to red while being a fun and cute color. I wanted to give him a lighter pink hair, and I sort of wish that I had stuck with that, but in the end I made the color of his hair match his suit. He's also the only one that still has stripes because I thought it would still work for his angelic design. I mean, Serpentious still has stripes, so it's whatever. Lastly, I gave him a brighter skin tone and white pearly teeth to go along with his still present bright smile. Alistair is low-key kind of ugly. I never really looked at him, but those teeth are something else. Maybe ugly isn't the right word, he's just creepy looking. I think it's on purpose though because he's a demon, so it's fine. I think the last thing I want to add is that I have a theory that whatever deal Alistair made to lose his soul to someone, he had to have made it as a human, because I can't think of any reason that Alistair as a demon would trade his soul. He had to have done it as a human to help him as a serial killer or something. The only other reason is that he did it to gain power, because who cares about radio? It is wild that people love Alistair more than someone like Vox, because Vox is right. Alistair is barely audible. No one cares about radio anymore, and the fact that somehow Alistair still manages to have any sort of influence over anyone, the fact that he has any sort of power at all, makes me believe that he had to have sold his soul to gain power, and that's really the only explanation for why he would do that. I could be wrong, but that is my personal theory. So those are all the designs. Please comment below and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like my art and you'd like to show your support, you can always donate to my Ko-fi account. The link to that is in the description below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!